Hello, my name is Sophia and I'm here to tell you about an exciting and brand new program. It's called OUP Plus. A little while back, a few colleagues of mine and I were discussing that our students, they can say words, they can say phrases, but they cannot quite tell a story. And the whole point of learning a language is to be able to express your thoughts and ideas. So OUP Plus will help us with that. So let's get started. Yay! Today we'll be discussing what is this OUP Plus? The Oxford University Press Plus. OUPP actually. And there's no P minus, just plus. Okay, course objective. We'll be looking at the course setup. There are some very important details here. This is something new here. And teaching material and procedure. Navigating the classroom. Okay, something also very important there. And of course, teaching considerations. I'll help you with everything. Okay. So if you're watching this, you're already an OUP consultant, which means you already teach classes that are show and tell, let's go, Oxford Discover. So now you will have OUP Plus, which is a storytelling time. Yes, and it consists of 4 units that I'm going to explain in detail. When you see your front page, make sure to notice which unit it is. There are 4. So the first 2, they are the preparation ones. Okay, so look here, if it's the first one, then you know that this is the first time you and the client are seeing this story. And it will say, get ready 1, get ready, the preparation. Okay, number 2 is also a preparation. So it will say, get ready, and it will have 2 in brackets. This is their second session with the same story that they're learning. Okay, here you need to prepare the students and give them the grounding, give them the vocabulary, give them all the base that they will need. Because the next one is when they try it. Okay, so this is like a rehearsal, a dress rehearsal, but this is with language. So they'll be pretending they'll actually be telling the story a few times for real, okay? And the whole session, you just try and encourage them to tell the story over and over again. All right, and number 4, that's the show time. Okay, some new lingo here, show time. That's the last session. And this is an open class. Oh, that is something new. Okay, so let's speak about the material and the procedures for the first session. Get ready, right? We need to, of course, encourage our students to look at the pictures and try and make their own story. There are a few vocabulary words they can use, okay? And we can help them with some words, of course. And they must already try and tell the story by the end of the first lesson. Okay. The second one, okay, still preparation. And we might add some new words there as well and refresh the old ones. We have the story. They can try and tell it in the beginning. And then, of course, as you go along, you can enhance it and you can help them see if they're adding on something more. And showtime. Okay, this is not real showtime. This is just they can tell the whole story. Still session 2. Session 3. Okay, this is almost showtime. So this is when they get to try it out and when you rehearse it. Okay, again, again, again. Some students might get bored if you repeat it again, again. Try and make it fun, like I normally say, oh, I have my friend Panda here. I believe you have a story. Oh, please tell me your story, please. So you can try and create ways to encourage them to go over the story again and again. Okay, your dress rehearsal. And 1, 2, and 3. This is an important picture. This means previously learned vocabulary, like a little seed opening. Okay, so the second one is a flower, right? So this is new vocabulary necessary for achieving the minimum narrative. Okay, so just remember when there's no flower, when it's just starting to grow, that's the previously learned vocabulary. Okay, so they've already learned aquarium, penguin, interesting. Okay. Oh, new vocabulary. They need to learn went and had. Okay, yes. So some students might not remember the previously learned, so just help them with that as well. And some very young students. We have lots of low-level students. And yeah, they will need your help. So they are teaching tips. They are for your reference. Okay, so if you've forgotten what you're doing here or what the storytelling's about, then you can go ahead and just read it for yourself, but don't let them read it or you read it out for them, or just allow creativity. This is maybe just if you have a very shy student that's low level and shy and just needs your help. This is your worst case scenario. Okay, then you use this. But don't try and teach it from there. Okay, what you can do instead is you can ask questions. Okay, so I will write this down here. Ask questions to help them with the story. So every page where they still are trying to create their story, we have notes. And here you can jot down what they say after. So they say, 2 boys are looking at penguins. So you're going to write 2 boys are looking at penguins. And of course, if they got incorrect grammar, then you can correct them right here. And they don't know what else to say. So you can say like, what can the 2 boys see? Okay, use the what questions. Where are the 2 boys? Or for more advanced, how do they feel? Okay. And what happened to this boy? He's not here anymore. Okay, so use questions to help and guide them to create their own story. So don't use the minimal story that's provided. Okay. Let them be creative. This is fun. This is their time to be a little presenter. So session 4 is the most important session because this session has some different techniques and a whole different session page. So let's work through this step by step. You can start the lesson by just saying, hello, today we are going to be doing storytelling. Our story is, and say the name of the story that you're doing. So read it first. Okay, this is the Stuck Duck. Okay, we're doing the Stuck Duck, and my name is Sophia, and what is your name? And here you let them introduce themselves. Okay, this is a lovely page, and you can make them feel like they're standing there. Okay, my name is, I am 7 years old. So this is where you get them to introduce themselves. And you can also use extra questions. These questions can help you. So they can be relating to the story or just random questions. What color do you like? What animal do you like? Okay, so let them introduce themselves. And you can do that, in less than 5 minutes. Yeah. Okay, so here's a girl and she's introducing herself, but there's something different. She's in my place. Yes. Okay, something different here. I'll tell you about that now. So, storytelling time. This is when they get to present their story. This is their presentation. So announce to the students that it is now story time. And now we are going to hear your story. Here's an example. Are you ready to present? Who wants to go first? Yeah, you can ask that. Yeah. Okay, if no one says they want to go first, then just have your own order. Maybe the first girl that came in, yeah, she can go first. Of course, congratulate every student after they've told their story. This is big for them. Give them stars. Immediately after their story. Good job, stars. Let other students clap and also say good job. That's very important. Okay, right. And also we have a feedback page. Okay, so you need to give feedback straight away here. So you will find 3 spots because the maximum students in this class are 3. Okay. So you can write their name there, and you've given them stars already, so try and give them other sticker rewards, maybe an apple or a crown or a flower, or depending if they're a girl, a princess or something like that. This is going to be a fun and interesting way for them to get reward. And say what a good job they did, and try and give them some sort of feedback that won't make them feel like they did worse than other students or better. Try and give equal feedback. Your vocabulary, your words were amazing. Yes, and you were just so confident and brave. So that's the page after your story. This is when everyone finishes their presentation. You can do this. After the storytelling, after everyone's finished, and you've congratulated them, you said what a wonderful job they did. Now they would like to hear your story. So now this is your turn to be the storyteller. And of course you've got all the vocabulary needed, so you just go ahead and create a nice interesting story. Students will enjoy listening to your version, your advanced version of the story. Okay, excellent. So what do we do afterwards? We still have some time, so we need to kill that time. Yes, and if you don't have too much time left, then don't worry, you don't have to cover all the slides, but this is also nice and fun to do afterwards together. So the games that we have after the presentation are always linked to the story, as you can see the ducks here. So yeah, you can ask them, do you like animals? Do you like to help animals? Why, what, where, how? Okay, and do you have animals at home? Yeah, so try and have your activities transition into the story nicely. Okay, so if they mentioned an animal at home, you say, okay, which animal do you have at home? A pet rabbit or a cat? That's your feedback. And if you have still too much time left, try and link this to more advanced questions. That's also a good idea. Okay, now navigating in the classroom. Okay, this is now what you have to do, something different here. Okay, and this is only in the last session, session 4, in the presentation session. In the other sessions, you won't have this, so don't worry about it. Okay, so we have a host button. Yes, and you will find this button that says switch. As you see my little girl here, she was switched. So as soon as you press this button, switch, it switches her to be the host. Now there's something else. This can be viewed on an app by family and friends and anyone else. So what happens is moms and dads will turn on their phone and they'll be watching their child present a story. That's why we want a bit of a formal structure as well, with the opening and the presentation and games. Okay, they will not be seen or heard. Okay, so don't really worry about them, but just know that they are there. And what else happens is when you switch your student to host, meaning they'll be now here in my window, then you are still audible, but you cannot be seen. Yes. And as I said before, 3 students maximum in this class. Okay, so let's go over this again. Here is the button, switch. The switch button makes them the host. Okay, they are the main person now. They are the little presenter. So you turn that button and they pop to your face and you're not visible anymore. Okay, there they are. There she is. Okay, so also what we have is the speaker's total time. Okay, so sometimes if a student very rarely is just speaking on and on and on and on, and you still have 2 students left, then what happens is you can click a little remind button, okay, and they will be reminded that they should finish up. But you might never have to do this, so don't worry about it. Just know that there is a button in case you're in that difficult situation and you don't want to disturb them. So it's a very polite way as well. Okay, so then when they finish speaking, you click end. End will put you back as the host. You are now the host. Okay, right, so something very important here. We have the teaching considerations. Okay, great. So I'm going to show you some of the props that I use, and it's highly recommendable, and it's a rule to get it for this presentation. So first of all, of course, use lots of TPR, like this guy. You know this guy. Okay, all the listen and look and read. Use all of this in storytelling. Okay, and of course, use props. You can use your minicam now, so you can do lots of fun stuff. Realia, okay, here it comes. So we can use a microphone and use this because this will make them feel like it's real. This is real. This is it. They are going to be speaking like on television, or they're going to be real presenters. So use a microphone, and not this one. See if you can get a kiddie's one or someone's broken one. Get a mic. And of course, Realia. So you can say, "Oh, it's story time. Can you tell your story?" Invite them. It's story time. Yes. Okay, so you can grab a book that says stories or just looks like a kiddie's book, and you can invite them to participate and start presenting their story. Yes, and very important, for high-level students, teachers should encourage the students to realize their full potential. Okay, do not help them too much with their stories. You can help them with some words while they're practicing, but of course they need to add details and they need to make it exciting themselves. So really we encourage that strongly to do that. We believe our children can grow up to be confident and good English speakers. Okay, and must I teach the minimal story? Okay, the minimal story is the writing that we have under each slide, and then we have this in all the sessions except for the 4th one. Must we teach that story? Okay, if you've been listening carefully, then no. Please don't teach that story and let the student be creative. Okay, we want to help them to think of their own ways, encourage them to say their own words and their own story. Right, okay, but of course for high levels we expect that they should do this without a problem, so they can make the story as crazy as possible. the more the merrier. Okay, teaching considerations. Okay, what will the audience do in the open presentation session? Okay, what will they do? They will do absolutely nothing. Okay, they will be listening, but you will not know what they're doing. Okay, again, parents and friends, they can watch it, and they watch it through WeChat. Okay, so that's really cool. That's a big step up. They can watch us through WeChat. And don't worry about them, really. Just know that we try and make this more formal, so keep to your structure, and they will not be shouting and trying to help the student in the background. That won't be happening. So make sure to give your best in this session. Yes, this is the build-up. There's a bit of a build-up for that. Now, how do we see this in our My Session page? So what happens is you will see storytelling, preparation. The second word is very important. Okay? And when you check your material, you can then see if it's preparation 1 or preparation 2. There are 2 preparations there. Okay, so you will know if it's the first time you're meeting the student for the story or they've already made something up already. Okay, then the big rehearsal, you'll see it right there, rehearsal. Okay, and this says story try. This is their try. Okay, and lastly, presentation. Yes, and this is your big one where you'll have the switch and the host button, and this is where you'll need to let them present their story. Okay, so here, story prezo. Okay, that's our lingo there. So remember now, if you'll be seeing something like this in your My Session page, that's what it is, presentation. So let's quickly recap. Firstly, you'll already see this page, and you have already seen it, I'm sure. And you just remember you won't read this with a student. Normally it's page 2. And I'll recap this with you, but if you do forget about what you need to do, then you can always do this, read this by yourself. So, to let students produce their own story, creativity. Don't force them to have the same story, okay? If they've forgotten, yeah, don't force them. Okay, sometimes they might want to change it, but it's their own story. And to review specific vocabulary and grammar with the students. As you saw, the newly learned vocabulary was went, yeah, so now that's past tense, so try and recap and learn that with them. And to give special attentions to words or grammar students aren't outputting on their own. To give special attention to words or grammar students aren't outputting on their own. So of course here you can help them with the new words, or they're really stuck for something that you see in this slide. You'll really need to use the word rope and they just don't know what word to use or how to even say what this thing is. So just help them there. And of course there are 4 sessions for storytelling. 1, 2, 3, 4. You might be assigned all of those 4 with the same student. We try our best, but you might be assigned at random. So that just remember to check which session you've got. So the first 2 sessions are to prepare the students to tell the story by looking at the picture. And the 3rd session is to allow the student for a final rehearsal, for a final presentation session. Yes, and remember this means previously learned vocabulary, and this here, this means new vocabulary. There we go. So I think now you're ready. You're ready for OUP Plus. So thank you very much everyone, and good luck and have fun and do your best. Thank you.